Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a question so many of us ask ourselves: Am I overthinking? We're going to explore the art of letting go, learning how to toss our worries and find true inner peace. If you've ever felt trapped in a loop of endless thoughts, replaying past conversations, or agonizing over future possibilities, this video is for you. We'll uncover why our minds do this and, more importantly, what we can do to gently guide them towards a state of calm and clarity. First, let's define what overthinking truly is. It's important to distinguish it from simple, productive thought. Productive thinking involves problem solving, planning, and reflection. It has a purpose and moves you forward. Overthinking, on the other hand, is a thought process that gets stuck. It's a continuous, unproductive loop of rumination, analysis, paralysis, and worry. It's when you're replaying scenarios in your head, dwelling on what ifs, and agonizing over decisions long after you've made them. It's a mental habit that zaps your energy and robs you of your present. To understand why we overthink, let's take a quick look at the brain. Overthinking often involves a complex interplay between two key regions. First, the prefrontal cortex, our brain's command center, is responsible for rational thought and decision making. When we overthink, we put this region into overdrive, leading to mental exhaustion. Second, the amygdala, our brain's ancient threat detector, is constantly on high alert, even for imaginary threats. Overthinking can cause this part of the brain to become hyperactive, flooding your system with stress hormones and keeping you in a state of anxiety. It's a physiological response to a mental habit, which is why it feels so draining. The effects of overthinking are far from just mental. They manifest physically as well. On a mental level, overthinking can lead to a constant state of anxiety and even depression. It creates decision paralysis, leaving you feeling stuck and unable to move forward, and it leads to chronic mental fatigue. Physically, this can translate into a host of problems: persistent headaches, muscle tension, and significant sleep disruption. The constant release of stress hormones can also weaken your immune system and lead to digestive issues. It's a vicious cycle where your mind's habit directly impacts your body's health. So, what drives this behavior? What are the root causes? One of the biggest drivers is anxiety and fear: the fear of the unknown, the fear of making a mistake, or the fear of not being good enough. Overthinking is often a misguided attempt to feel safe. Another common cause is what I call the illusion of control. We mistakenly believe that if we think about a problem from every possible angle, we can somehow control the outcome. But in reality, all we're doing is creating stress and anxiety over things that are often outside of our control. Perfectionism also plays a major role, as the desire to get everything just right can lead to endless analysis and an inability to simply move forward. Finally, past negative experiences or traumas can train our brains to be hypervigilant and overanalyze every situation to avoid repeating previous pain. Now that we know what overthinking is and why it happens, let's get into the practical tools for change. The first is a cognitive behavioral technique called the three-step reframe. Step 1. Notice. The moment you catch yourself in an overthinking loop, simply acknowledge it without judgment. Don't criticize yourself, just say, "I'm overthinking this." Step 2. Question. Ask yourself, is this thought productive? Is there a tangible action I can take right now? Am I trying to control something that is out of my hands? This step helps you break the cycle. And step 3, reframe. Consciously redirect your mind. This could be as simple as moving on to a task, focusing on your breath, or telling yourself, I've done all I can for now, and that is enough. This process trains your brain to create a new, healthier path. The second powerful strategy is to physically ground yourself using mindfulness. Overthinking lives in the future and the past. The goal of grounding is to pull your mind back into the present moment. One of the most effective techniques is the 5-4-3-2-1 method. When you feel a wave of overthinking or anxiety, just stop and name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This simple act forces your brain to engage with your senses, breaking the overthinking cycle instantly and bringing you back to the safety of the present moment. Overthinking often leads to what's called analysis paralysis, where we get so caught up in planning and worrying that we never actually start. This next strategy is about prioritizing action over analysis. A great motto to live by is done is better than perfect. Don't wait until you have the perfect plan to start. Just start. Try the just 5 minutes rule. Commit to doing a task for only 5 minutes. Often, that's all it takes to get the momentum going. When faced with a big, overwhelming task, break it down into the smallest possible, single step you can take right now. The act of taking that single step is the most effective way to quiet an overthinking mind. Your brain will shift from, I have to solve this huge problem, to I just have to do this one small thing. This next strategy might sound strange at first, but it can be incredibly effective. It's called the worry time box. The idea is to intentionally designate a specific time, say 15 minutes a day, to worry. So, if a stressful thought pops up while you're at work, you simply acknowledge it, jot it down in a notebook or on your phone, and say to yourself, I'll think about this at 7 p.m. tonight. This gives you a sense of control over your worries. The goal is not to eliminate worries completely, that's unrealistic, but to contain them. By giving them a specific window of time, you free up the rest of your day to be more present and focused on what truly matters. Overthinking often stems from a lack of boundaries, not just with others, but with our own minds and the information we consume. This next strategy is about setting those boundaries. First, set boundaries on your time. Limit the time you spend on social media or watching the news, especially if you find it's a trigger for a cycle of overthinking. Second, set boundaries with people. Pay attention to who you're talking to. Some people feed into our worries, and it's okay to limit those conversations. And most importantly, set boundaries with yourself. The moment you catch yourself in a loop, mentally say, stop, and redirect your focus. It's a way of telling your own brain, this thought has run its course, and it's time to move on. On our channel, we always take a holistic approach to health. It's important to remember that overthinking isn't just in your head, it's connected to your entire body. The gut-brain axis is a two-way street of communication, largely facilitated by the vagus nerve. The trillions of bacteria in your gut microbiome, are responsible for producing a significant amount of your body's serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitter. So, when your gut is out of balance, it can directly impact your mood and lead to feelings of anxiety and a tendency to overthink. By nurturing your gut with a healthy diet, rich in prebiotics and probiotics, you can support your mental well-being from the inside out. The strategies we've discussed today are powerful tools for managing your mind. However, it's crucial to know that they are not a substitute for professional guidance. If your overthinking is consistently interfering with your daily life, your work, or your relationships, or if it's causing significant distress or feelings of hopelessness, please reach out to a professional therapist or counselor. They are trained to provide you with the support and personalized tools you need to truly heal and move forward. Taking that step is a sign of incredible strength, not weakness. If you're ready to dive deeper into this topic and build your own toolkit for inner peace, I have a few recommendations for you. Feeling Good by David Burns is a foundational book in cognitive therapy that provides a wealth of practical techniques for managing negative thought patterns. For a direct approach to overcoming anxiety, I highly recommend Dare by Barry McDonough, which offers a unique and powerful method for facing and moving through anxiety. And for a more spiritual and reflective approach, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer is an incredible read on the nature of consciousness and detaching from your thoughts. Additionally, apps like Headspace, Calm, and Insight Timer are wonderful for building a consistent mindfulness practice. To close, remember that overthinking is a habit, not a destiny. You have the power to change it. Start with small, consistent steps, whether it's using the 3-step reframe, practicing grounding, or simply taking one single action. What is one small step you will take today to quiet your mind? Thank you so much for joining me on Creatively Homemade Health and Wellness. I truly hope this video has given you the tools you need to find more peace in your life. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more wellness tips, and visit our website for additional resources. Until next time, stay well.